The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
We're now joined by urologist and the author of the penis book, Dr. Aaron Spitz.
Welcome! Good to be here. Thank you. Thank you.
And that could mean only one thing. It's time for a segment we call Don't Put That Down There. Speaking of, a 42-year-old man complaining of pain, difficulty urinating, rolls into the ER. What could be causing that pain? What could be causing the difficulty urinating? Well, how about this? A 4-inch chopstick lodged deep into his urethra. You're now seeing it. Okay, I understand. Look, kids will do things like this. Oh, they.
Well,
how does this get in there?
I mean,
why?
First of all, I'm the first to admit I'm bad with chopsticks, but not that bad.
That's really bad.
It's really bad.
Really bad.
So, but this is not that unusual, crazy as it may sound. I have taken many different kinds of objects out of guys' urethra.
But here's the thing that's hard for me to understand. Hey, doc, so rolls into the ER. Let's say it's my patient. Doc, there's some pain down there. I'm having trouble urinating. Would help if in the history you told me that there's a chopstick in there. Yeah, that's my whole thing.
Right.
Well, how does this end up there and not know it?
He was apparently blind drunk, so he and a friend were messing around.
But what kind of...
I'll never be that drunk.
You know, a lot of us end up at Chinese food at 3 a.m., right? You know?
Yes.
But I always ask for a fork. You know, because
actually, I think in this case, that would be much worse.
Well, but yeah, here's the thing. In a lot of cases, it's really a psychosis. In this case, you know, it was a drunk psychosis, but there are also men who will do this for pleasure. And it's quite possible that this was actually, you know, not as blind drunk as they may have claimed it. Who knows? But, you know, really, this should be an exit-only kind of an opening, unless you're a trained professional.
I want to ask you specifically in this case, how did they end up getting it out?
So in this case, he was able to pull it out.
Thank goodness it didn't splinter.
Yeah,
seriously.
Well, would you usually also use like a scope?
When I have to pull out objects, in many cases they're not as long and they're not as closely open. They can be well inside, and I will use a fiber optic scope, often under anesthesia, with delicate grasping devices. But you know, it's really a long-term risk. It's not just the pain that he encountered now. Because that was in there, and because maybe there were splinters, maybe there was an abrasion, he may develop a urethral stricture, and not right away. Strictures can form in the urethra from damage years later, and then he'll end up in the ER not able to pee, and they may not even be able to pass a catheter because of how dense the stricture can be. So it's really not something to play around with, not for any reason, unless you have to pass something. And there are many, many people in this country who have to pass a catheter a few times a day because they can't urinate for a variety of conditions. But these are fashion devices that are smooth, that are medical grade. They've been given instructions by doctors and nurses, and that's a whole different ballgame.
So just be very careful in this arena. Other than a urinary catheter,
right?
Nothing should go in the one-way exit-only urethra. I do
unless he's doing it.
Unless he's doing it. Hey guys, I brought you both presents.